lines stretched for hours as the man who dreamed memorable characters drew them, giving fans the chance to take home their own piece of TV
After
history.
37 years on the air, The Simpsons has taken one of its darkest and most emotional turns yet. The season 37 finale, Homer? A cracker bro, surprised fans by delivering a powerful and surprisingly grounded story about mental health, specifically Kirk Van Houten's bipolar disorder. What starts as a classic absurd Simpsons premise quickly turns serious. After Lisa pushes for an Animal Crossing bridge, wild animals destroy a pharmaceutical lab, causing a medication shortage. Kirk, who depends on bipolar medication, is forced to go without it. When the medication returns, he refuses to take it, triggering a manic spiral. In his manic phase, Kirk teams up with Homer to launch a crumbless cracker company. The business explodes overnight, making them rich. But his erratic behavior soon becomes destructive, public meltdowns, reckless decisions, and eventually a financial collapse. The episode then shifts into a heartbreaking depressive sequence, scored to a parody of REM's Everybody Hurts, showing Kirk at his lowest point. What makes this episode stand out is its honest portrayal of bipolar disorder, showing both mania and depression without turning them into punchlines. Even more surprising? Homer steps up. He offers to take the fall for Kirk's crimes and ultimately shows compassion instead of ignorance. Rather than ending season 37 with a big comedic high, The Simpsons chose a deeply human story about friendship, accountability, and mental health. It's a bold reminder that even after nearly 4 decades, the show can still evolve and still surprise us. Would you rank this among the most emotional episodes ever? Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel The Simpsons 24 Hours. The Simpsons takes its darkest turn yet in 37 years of the classic American sitcom. When people think of The Simpsons, they'll think of iconic catchphrases like "Adio," as well as comedic bits such as Homer, Dan Castellaneta, choking Bart, Nancy Cartwright, and many other standout gags. What all of these memories will have in common is the fact that they are hilarious, as one would expect in one of the most famous sitcoms of all time. However, that doesn't mean The Simpsons doesn't contain emotional depth. The Simpsons has always known how to make people laugh and when to make them cry. In the season 37 finale, Homer? A cracker bro? The Simpsons took this poignancy to another level with its exploration of Kirk Van Houten's, Hank Azaria, bipolar disorder. The episode not only provided a grounded look at mental health, but also allowed Homer to reframe himself as someone other than the irresponsible, not-so-bright guy many are used to seeing him as. As always, The Simpsons episode premise is bizarre and comical. After Lisa, Yardley Smith, lobbies to have an Animal Crossing built over a highway, wild animals ransack a pharmaceutical facility, leading to a medication shortage. Among those who must go without is Kirk, Milhouse's, Pamela Hayden, soft-spoken father, and we learn that he is bipolar. Even when the medication becomes available again, he refuses to take it. This leads to a difficult period for Kirk, as he becomes obsessed with creating a crumbless cracker business with Homer, which immediately becomes successful, making the pair rich. From the beginning, Marge, Julie Kavner, is worried about Kirk, but Homer and Bart merely think Kirk has suddenly become charismatic and cool. However, the other pole, as Homer calls it, quickly comes around, and Kirk becomes destructive, with him causing a scene at a restaurant and another on live television, plummeting the cracker company's stock price. This leads to a depressive period for Kirk, with a heart-wrenching sequence scored by a parody of Everybody Hurts, by Rem. The FBI almost arrest Kirk for embezzlement, but Homer agrees to take the fall for him. It is only because Marge makes Kirk take his medication that Kirk owns up to his crime. The ending sees Kirk and Homer's bond immortalized with a hand gesture of brushing off crumbs, symbolizing that they won't let the hardships of life tear them down, leaving the audience with hope that Kirk has taken a step forward with his mental health. The Simpsons' season 37 finale is an excellent depiction of mental health. Mental health can be a difficult subject to accurately and sensitively portray on screen, especially when dealing with as complex a condition as bipolar disorder. The Simpsons is unafraid to show the disorder's effects on Kirk, and that's what makes the episode so impactful. When Kirk is in his manic state, he is frightening. The scene he causes at dinner, when he tries to kiss his wife on top of the table, is many people's worst nightmare in a public place. When he is depressed, his wife, Luann Maggie Roswell, doesn't seem to even care, using Kirk as a coat rack while enjoying the money his business has made. This episode also shows Homer's rare responsible side. He tries to calm Kirk down on TV and even offers to take the fall for Kirk's embezzling charges. At first, he ignores Kirk's behavior, but by the end, he embraces Kirk with the aforementioned gesture, a tremendous display of compassion for someone who nearly ruined his life. Many would have been expecting a comedic high for The Simpsons to go out on in its 37th season. However, the more somber tone taken in Homer, a cracker bro, is the perfect note for The Simpsons to end on. The show not only proved, once again, how well it can approach emotive topics, but also how it can find the humor in them. 57. The Simpsons predictions that came true. Are the writers time travelers, or are they related to Nostradamus? The Simpsons never disappoints viewers with its eerie Simpsons predictions that ring true years later. The Simpsons family is made up of several characters, but the main characters are Homer, voiced by Dan Castellaneta, Marge, voiced by Julie Kavner, Lisa, voiced by Yardley Smith, Bart, voiced by Nancy Cartwright, and Maggie. Each episode is filled with the Simpsons family interacting with other residents of Springfield, including guest stars who appeared in some episodes of The Simpsons. Yet what intrigues viewers is how some events were predicted by the Simpsons writers at least 5 years before they happened. So, what did the Simpsons predict? Could it be that the Simpsons really predicts world events, or is the world just following the Simpsons script? With more than 3 decades on the air, the long-running sitcom continues to deliver creative, sharp, and surprisingly prescient storylines that echo its beloved classic Simpsons seasons. There's no doubt that the wild narratives from more recent seasons will be added to the growing Simpsons predictions list. There's no telling exactly which ones will come true in the coming years. The best Simpsons predictions aren't just shocking, they're also often strange, funny, and somehow make sense all at the same time. 57. The longevity of the Rolling Stones. Lisa's Wedding, Season 6, Episode 19, 1995, with its story featuring Lisa exploring her future in a fortune-telling booth at a Renaissance fair, Season 6, Lisa's Wedding, is understandably a popular episode for The Simpsons predictions. The 1995 released episode journeys to the near future of 2010 to explore Lisa's love story with university classmate Hugh Parkfield, Mandy Patinkin, with one of the more superfluous gags being the Rolling Stones' Steel Wheelchair Tour 2010 poster on the wall in a dorm room. At the time of the episode's release, the Rolling Stones had been a global phenomenon for upwards of 30 years, and the band members were well into their 50s, so the joke of them still being a powerhouse 15 years later struck many as an absurdist jape at the age of the musicians. It is now 30 years since Lisa's Wedding premiered and, while drummer and founding member Charlie Watts passed away in 2021, the rest of the group continued to perform live and release new music. 56. Lemon Tree Robbery. Lemon of Troy, Season 6, Episode 24. Another precognitive episode from The Simpsons' 6th season, Lemon of Troy, unfolds as Homer and Bart work together to retrieve Springfield's prized lemon tree when it is stolen by kids from Shelbyville. Ranging from its basic premise to key details in Homer and Bart's plan, the episode stands as a playful parody of Helen of Troy, but it became known for its predictive prowess when an eerily similar and strange theft took place in 2013. The bizarre robbery took place in Houston and Texas, where a burglar dug up someone's lemon tree and made off with it, leaving the owner stumped and with a gaping hole in her garden. While there have been a few pretty perplexing, profound, and outright petrifying predictions that have come to fruition in the years since, the lemon tree robbery of Texas 2013 remains one of the most peculiar The Simpsons got right. 55. Japanese PM eats Fukushima fish. 2 cars in every garage and 3 eyes on every fish, Season 2, Episode 4. Japanese Prime Minister eats fish doesn't necessarily stand as the most shocking news headline of all time, but the circumstances around the politician's pescatarian feast are eerily similar to what was depicted in the 4th episode of The Simpsons' 2nd season. While the episode features Mr. Burns running to be governor, the integral part of the episode, as far as predictions go, revolves around his being challenged to eat a 3-eyed fish found downstream of his nuclear power plant to prove he hasn't been contaminating the water. In 2023, Japanese PM Fumio Kishida, along with several ministers, ate seafood fished from the Fukushima coast as a public display that the water there was safe following the discharge of treated radioactive water from a nearby nuclear power plant. While the real-life demonstration didn't end quite like it did in The Simpsons, with Mr. Burns unable to eat the fish, therefore proving his guilt, the episode still stands as an eerily accurate prediction of political posturing and paranoia surrounding the byproduct of nuclear energy. 54. The Shard. Lisa's Wedding, Season 6, Episode 19, 1995. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.